Dear friends in Jesus Christ, today we are in the 14th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Year A. In the first reading, Prophet Zechariah tells Jerusalem to rejoice because the king is coming. He will be humble and meek. Zechariah also tells that the king will bring peace to all nations and blessings for all people. Thus, the first reading is the message of hope. In the second reading, St. Paul offers to all humanity the choice of two ways of living, that is, the life of the flesh and the life of the spirit. In other words, our life can be either open to God or being closed to God. The choice is ours. The gospel passage from St. Matthew of today has two sections. The first section contains part of a prayer of Jesus in which he praises God for hiding the mysteries of the kingdom from the learned and the wise and revealing them to the little ones. When Jesus talks about the learned and wise, actually he mentions of religious leaders such as scribes and Pharisees. Same way, when Jesus talks about little ones, he mentions of his disciples and followers. In the second section, Jesus invites everyone to him to find rest and life. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light. Jesus invites us to take upon his yoke upon our shoulders. Jeeves used the word yoke for entering into the submission of someone or something. For Jews, yoke also referred obligation. They spoke of yoke of the law, that is, obligation of the law. Yoke of the commandments, obligation of the commandments. Yoke of kingdom, obligation of kingdom. And yoke of God, obligation of God. Jesus is using the word yoke in this context. He says, my yoke is easy. The word easy in Greek is anaita, A-N-E-T-A. Anaita also means comfortable and well-fitting. The yoke is the wooden cross beam that joined the two animals at the neck, and that cross beam dragged the form in order to plough. In Palestine, yokes for oxen were made of woods. Since animals are different in sizes, oxen were brought to the carpenters and measurements were taken. Then the yokes were made as per their measurements and kept on the ox and carefully adjusted and crafted, so that the yokes may fit well for oxen. Otherwise, it would not fit the animal correctly and cause considerable discomfort. It would hurt the animal. So the yokes were tailor made to fit ox. Jesus, as a carpenter, knew very well about yokes, and he cleverly uses this image to call for rest. Jesus tells that his yoke fits us well. What he means is that the life that he gives is not a burden to cause pain for us, but it will give comfort. Whatever God sends us is made to fit to our needs and abilities. Jesus says, my burden is light. It is not that the burden is easy to carry, but it is laid on us in love. It is meant to be carried in love, and love makes the heaviest burden light. We must know the real burdens and false burdens. Responsibility to our family is not a burden. It is laid on us in love. It is meant to be carried in love, and love makes the heaviest burden light. Responsibility to study or to learn is not a burden, it is laid on us in love. It is meant to be carried in love, and love makes the heaviest burden light. We also have false burdens, such as bad behaviors, anger, hatred, unforgiveness are some of the false burdens that we need to get rid of immediately. Dear friends, celebration of the Eucharist, the presence of the Eucharistic Lord in the Blessed Sacrament is the oasis for all of us who are burdened. Jesus assures the physical rest, emotional rest, and spiritual rest that we are in need of. Yes, he says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." Amen.